Hey, how's it going guys? JC here. Just want to make a quick video because Kled is sort of a very annoying matchup against Tryndamere, especially if, say, you fall behind, you just absolutely fall off completely if you were to fight against him. He just has so many free stats, so just go over really quickly what exactly does he do and why is he so annoying to deal with. And after that, I'm going to show you guys the best way to deal with Kled in lane. So there's a few things about Kled. One is he remounts instantly after he gets dismounted, and to get him to dismount, you're going to have to take a lot of damage and trade with him. So after you get him to half, he dismounts, and then after that, he'll hit you 4 times and use his shotgun once, and then he remounts instantly and gets all his abilities back again, and you're going to have a very hard time if you don't know how to counteract that. A lot of Kled one tricks, they build Tiamat and then they'll shove out and then they'll go and ult mid or something, or ult bot, or maybe teleport. So it's really hard to deal with even if you do survive in lane against him, or if you just go even. He'll still be able to roam and just tip everything into his team's advantage. So one thing to note is his ultimate is kind of like Pantheon on TF. It's like a global ultimate and it's a hard engage. It's really strong and situationally better than the other two, considering you can actually speed up your entire team and get them all to barrel towards the enemy team. So you actually hard engage. Kled has so many free stats with his passive, and if he gets dismounted, he can't take any more damage past the halfway point when he gets dismounted, and then he can remount right away. So there's a lot of things going for him that's really good. But yeah, anyways, that's enough about Kled, and we'll jump into laning phase and show you guys exactly what to do against him. So who we're laning up against is a Kled one trick. His name is JellyCub, and he plays Kled all the time. That's his main and that's his one trick, so he is a really good Kled player. Make sure you avoid those Qs. I started Doran's Blade, he started Doran's Blade as well. The important thing to note is his Q, the first hit doesn't do as much damage, but the second part of its Q, when it snaps back, it slows you and it does double damage. So make sure you pay attention to that second snap and also pay attention to his third or fourth W. Yeah, his third W, because he autos twice really fast and the third one hits really hard. As you guys can see, violent tendencies. Looks like it says the fourth hit deals physical damage equals 20 plus 4.5%. So yeah, that hits really hard, fourth hit, and also bear trap when it snaps. So when those two both hit at the same time, your health gets chunked by a lot. So you have to make sure you pay attention to those two things. That's the one thing that you have to know when you're playing Tryndamere against this guy, because sometimes you might need to ult just a little bit earlier and you're not expecting that burst. For the most part, you just want to farm up for now, and then if he takes aggressive trades like that, then you have to back away. But there are times when you can actually fight against him, and then I'll highlight that very soon. But the thing is, early on he's kind of rough. You can fight an all-in him if he misses the bear trap, but because he landed his bear trap first, I wasn't able to go for an early all-in. Not that you really want to rush it anyway, because Tryndamere, as long as he doesn't fall behind, he doesn't die, he will outscale. So yeah, simply there is a fight going on, and this is still pushing towards me, so I can easily leave that, and Kled will lose more minions than I do, so that's perfectly fine if you manage it like this. So you see how Kled roamed? There's a lot of minions that he just lost, so I'll hit level 4 before him. That's something that's very important to note. Also, the other thing to note is we traded, so that's why both our potions are gone, but we're both relatively healthy. He missed his bear trap, so that's a very good opportunity to trade with him. Get him dismounted right there because he missed his bear trap. And yeah, after that, get our Fury up. Hopefully we can get level 4. And then look at how his W is the only way to remount, right? He just used his W. There's his W gone. So what you can do is go on him right away because he can't remount. Do you see that? And why he shot his shotgun that way is so that it lands on me. That's the only way he can remount, is his shotgun's very important, and 4 hits, 4 auto attacks and 1 shotgun will get him to remount. But the thing is, what you can do is what I did there, if you want to watch it again, is I ran ahead of him. That way he has to shoot backwards. As long as he shoots it at me, that he can remount. That's his only chance of survival. So if I do that, I cut off his escape because he has to shoot it at me and it pushes him backwards. So that's something, it's not a misplay, he did it intentionally, but he couldn't remount, but it was pretty close. The thing is, you want to watch out for his W passive. You want to make sure you trade with him when you can, when his W is down, and then after that you want to make sure that he's trying to push in the wave, so you make sure that he uses his W first, and then you go all in on him. And then that way he can't remount right away, if that makes sense. So that is basically Kled's laning phase in a nutshell, and that's how you beat him. But then I'm going to show you guys, once you beat him once, how do you snowball it? So that's a very good question, right? So we go back, because we got 1 kill on him. He has 2 longswords, he's building Tiamat. I'm also building Tiamat, but except I finished it. And he doesn't have potions, I have 1 potion. So with that in mind, you guys can see his items and he can't see our items. but when we get to lane, we'll both be able to see each other's items. The thing is, I can now go a lot more aggressive. Before, I was more defensive, and I had to wait for him to go more aggressive. Like, basically miss a bear trap, and then we go for like 2 or 3 autos, and then spin away, dismount him. So there, he used his bear trap. Going to try to proc my grasp here, try to dismount him, but I have so much of an item advantage that I can just fight him there. Like, really suddenly just go for a really ballsy, you know, fight where he basically is in dismount range. Now he used his W again. So there we go. He has no W. We can fight him right away. Just like that. I still have my ultimate, so you guys can see really quickly that I'm using all these advantages with W cooldown, because W has a very, very long cooldown. As you guys can see, if you look at Kled, his W cooldown's 14 seconds, and that is completely his whole kit when it revolves around his passive and his W, and also his shotgun. So he has to land his shotgun and 4 autos. That is mandatory. Okay, so now we both go back, and I have Tiamat completed. Also, I have longsword and attack speed dagger. He only has Tiamat completed, so we have a massive item advantage, and we're going to keep snowballing it. So we can both push really hard because we both have Tiamat. The thing is, we have to be really careful. You guys can see pings on the map. I'm going to probably be pinging if Kled starts to try and roam. So that's something you have to note, is when Kled is level 6, if he misses from the lane, you make sure you ping back. See, like missing ping, and then make sure you ward here and keep track of where Kled is, because if he ults mid, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble if mid lane tilts or just starts feeding or just loses straight up, because then that could transition to them roaming bot, like, or the enemy mid lane roams bot because your mid lane's dead. It's like a snowball effect because of a global ultimate like Kled's. It sort of works the same as Pantheon. You have to do the same with Pantheon. So right there, I tried to shove all the way in and then take a red buff, but unfortunately it looks like they have this warded, so that's fine. You can just use the blast cone to escape, perfectly fine. The other alternative is if they were laning in mid lane, you could come over here, spin over the wall, and then do your little gank. But that's because you shoved Kled in with Tiamat and item advantage. So that's something you can do to snowball it and get a free kill at mid. And after that you can go back to top. So that's things that you can do to snowball and beat Kled in lane. So bear trap, it actually shrinks. The circle shrinks, so if you just walk away from him and you're in bear trap range, it will eventually shrink enough to where the trap just snaps and then it doesn't do any damage. So that's only if you're near max range. So now I can go a lot more aggressive and get Grasp of Undying procs, just like that. Also, by the way, this guy, JellyCub, is also running Grasp of Undying, so seems to be the main go-to for Kled. It's really strong, like really strong in terms of trading and everything. And it seems to be just the go-to for top laners, at least bruisers anyway. Grasp of Undying, or maybe Arcane Comet for Camille. There we go. So I go over here. I was thinking he might have flash. Seeing that we're in the replay, he has no flash. But yeah, I basically had to go in because any later and Orianna would have died. I was waiting for Victor to flash over, but he didn't flash over. So that was kind of awkward. What I should have done was just walk through here. But then that's kind of obvious because usually high elo players, they like to put a ward here and that reveals this whole entire area. So that's why it's kind of awkward. I just wanted to spin over here and completely hidden, caught off guard, and usually get a really successful gank off by going for that path. So yeah, very nice. We did a roam at mid and we got a kill. And then we got 2 kills in lane. So laning phase is pretty much over, but let's see if we can get one more kill after this. So yeah, there was a lot of farming, pushing back and forth. I just went back and then he tried to shove in. Then he tried to recall. But see how even his ult is an escape tool because he can flash over someone and then ult away. So that's something that's pretty interesting to note if you're looking to main Kled or you're Kled one trick. Like that was like, oh my, that escaped a 3-man gank, pretty impressive. So yeah, he's nowhere near dying because he has to dismount, and when he dismounts, he takes basically Skull's health bar as damage, and that's maximum. You can't take any more damage than that. So say if Kled was mounted and he's like 1 health into Skull, he gets hit by a Syndra ultimate, it won't do any damage to Kled himself, if that makes sense. So he'll be dismounted with like full Kled health. Other thing you can do is come over and just counter jungle while you push in top lane, and then maybe even gank mid again. Push in mid because, you know, Ori was over at bot side. Try to get mid tower, you know, just do rotations. It's how you try to get your lead, get ahead. After that, once Kled's back in lane, go back and maybe you can try to kill him. Yeah, right here. He has to push in, right? Kled wants to push in, and he thinks it's safe because he has a massive minion wave, but I have item advantage here. I have a Zeal completed and tabbies. He just has a phage. So there's no way he's going to remount. And yeah, I think this is lane phase completely over. It's absolutely nothing Kled can do. You can use this in your games to counter Kled if you like. Just make sure you pay close attention to his W cooldown. Pay close attention to his Qs. Make sure you dodge as much as you can so that you're in a more favorable position. And once his W is down, you can go for trades. Once you go for trades, get him to almost dismount and then back away with your spin. After that, once he has to use his W again, obviously to push the wave, he needs to auto attack. So once his violent tendencies are down again, you can just walk up to him, he's going to walk away, W him, and then just all in. Then you'll dismount him and just kill him. So yeah, that is Kled's laning phase in a nutshell. Let me know what you guys think of this style of video in the comments below if I should do more of these matchups. And I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.